How can we then speak truth before darkness? Except as there is an insurance system that they cannot understand. Did you not read about Peter and John? When they confronted the powers that be, they were arrested and locked. They didn't touch the padlock. Their business is not with padlock. The Bible said the door was locked, but the next day they were in the temple preaching. How did they get there? They became part of the wind. They traveled with the wind. If you can't trap the wind, you can't trap them. This is why Jesus was speaking and he said, as the wind bloweth, and thou listest not from whence it cometh or whence it goeth. It says, so are they that are born by the Spirit of God. The question is, how many of us have been able to ride on the wind for once? Do you know that this evangelism strategy we are doing here, the nations that truly need evangelism, nobody has entered. The nations that truly need the gospel, nobody has entered. Go to South Korea and say you are coming to preach. They will put you in a prison where half of your body will be in water. And you will not see the sunlight again forever. If somebody will enter South Korea, then he needs a technology that is beyond the plane. You must have power over nature. See, we are deceiving ourselves with petty things. Jesus said healing is the children's bread. He expects that healing will be normal. Healing will be commonplace. Like wisdom is doing in Wumba. Children should lay hands on the blind, they open. Deaf ears should open. It should be normal. What we should be contending for should be superior matters. When we gather in our meetings, we should be asking questions. How can we penetrate South Korea? How can we penetrate China? How can we penetrate India? But even we know that we don't have the stature to date. Because when you meet the president of South Korea, if he looks at you in the eyes alone, you will know that this one is a beast. There is something on him that is not normal. And if you don't carry power, you can't even imagine it. That's why today, all our evangelism strategy is to nations that have very good reception to missionaries. There's nothing wrong in it with it. You can go to the US. They need to be delivered from immorality. You can go to Europe. They are too cold. You need to set them on fire. But the question is, who is going to Afghanistan? The question is, who is going to Taiwan? Who is going to China? Who is going to India? Why is that not part of our mission strategy? Because we know that you don't need a plane to go there. You need another technology to enter there. And there are no people who have embodied the Elijah spirit enough to go there. Does that mean those people should not need Christ? Does that mean those people... Do you know that these nations are so bad that even the facilities you have on the internet, they don't have access to it? They can't see Facebook before you say your message is entering there. Catch you with a Bible, you are gone. But what will happen if 10 Elijahs suddenly wake up in our midst and they say, next week we are going to South Korea? And when they meet in church praying, from the church they depart and they enter a nation, evangelize that nation and come back. For them, it will look like 5 minutes, but they have been there for 5 days. Because when you travel by the wind, your technology is different. And when they come back, they are testifying. And they tell you, last week we were in South Korea. And you are asking, who gave you visa? They tell you there's a superior transport means. There's a superior technology. We are not limited. We have become like the wind because we have caught a mantle. This is what God is looking for in the last day. But we are busy here filling auditoriums, excited that people are giving offering. Whereas in Zion, they are looking for men. This is why Elijah must come back. Because if Elijah doesn't come back, many nations will perish without knowing Jesus. If Elijah doesn't come back, many churches will become victims. And a time will come when the terror will be so much that people won't come to church anymore. Do you know that up to 80% of believers are babes? They come to church because of the promises and the things they stand to gain. If coming to church becomes risky, nobody will come again. And so a new generation must rise that have a hunger for something that is uncommon, for something that is no longer being told. Today, if you preach things like this, people are looking at you. Can you please preach practical Christianity? This thing you are talking about, we don't know what you are saying. Tell us principles that we need to make money. Tell us principles that we need to live healthy. But that's a lower level of life. God is raising warriors in the last day. And warriors must use weapons that come from heaven.